In ancient Rome, citizenship did not mean safety. It meant visibility. You had rights. You could vote, own property, serve in the army. But you were also inside a system that could turn on you at any moment. Rome didn't destroy its enemies only. It destroyed its own citizens, quietly, legally, efficiently, and often publicly. Rome looked structured, civilized, organized. But beneath the marble and law codes was something colder, authority. And authority in Rome flowed downward. It did not protect you. It controlled you. Let's start inside the home. In early Roman law, the father held something called patria potestas, the power of the father. It meant he controlled the property, the money, the marriages, the future, and originally, even the life of his children. A grown man, even a soldier, could legally remain under his father's authority. In theory, a father could execute his son. That wasn't common in later Rome, but the idea remained. Family in Rome wasn't built on emotional equality. It was built on hierarchy, and that hierarchy mirrored the state. Now expand that idea outward. Above the family stood the Senate. Above the Senate stood the emperor. And above everyone stood power itself. If you were a senator and became too influential, you were noticed. If soldiers liked you too much, you were noticed. If the public cheered your name, you were noticed. And being noticed in Rome could be fatal. Under Emperor Tiberius, treason trials became common. You didn't need to commit treason. You only needed to be accused, an insult, a rumor, a poorly worded joke. And suddenly your loyalty was questioned. Property confiscated, reputation destroyed. Execution sometimes followed. Rome loved law, but law could be weaponized. Then there was exile. Rome preferred exile over messy public executions in many cases. Exile looked civilized, but it was social death. You lost your land, your income, your influence. Your name faded from conversation. The poet Ovid was exiled by Augustus to the edge of the empire, cold, isolated, forgotten, not executed, just removed. Rome understood something modern states still understand. It's cleaner to erase someone than to martyr them. And then there was damnatio memoriae, the condemnation of memory. If you truly crossed the wrong line, Rome didn't just kill you, it erased you. Statues destroyed, names carved out of inscriptions, records altered. You weren't remembered as a traitor. You weren't remembered at all. That was worse. Because Rome cared deeply about legacy, about ancestry, about honor. To erase someone was to deny they ever mattered. And this system didn't operate through constant chaos. That's the important part. Rome wasn't unstable. It was structured. Courts operated daily. Taxes were predictable. Markets ran on schedule. People woke up knowing what tomorrow looked like. And that predictability kept resistance low. Because rebellion requires instability. Rome offered order. And in exchange, it demanded obedience. The emperor didn't need to threaten everyone. He only needed to make examples of a few. The rest adjusted themselves. That's why Rome lasted so long. Not because it was the most brutal empire in history, but because it made control feel routine. If the system turned against you, it wasn't chaos. It was procedure, paperwork, trials, announcements, votes, seals, guards, and then silence. Rome didn't collapse its citizens through mobs. It collapsed them through structure, which is far more effective. Because when power becomes normal, you stop noticing it. And when you stop noticing it, you stop resisting it. Rome didn't need constant violence to survive. It needed hierarchy. It needed dependence. It needed citizens who believed the system was permanent. And if you ever stepped outside that belief, the same structure that protected you would erase you. Rome didn't destroy its own citizens loudly. It did it efficiently, and that's what made it powerful.